Hello, my name is Marcos Paez, and today I will be discussing how psychology plays a vital role in communication. Now, when you think of psychology, what comes to mind? I took a short survey and found that a common perception of psychology is the whole laying on the couch talking about your feelings kind of scenario. This can be true for clinical psychology, however, the reach of how psychology plays a role in our daily interaction is actually far more broad than many people may think. Take a moment real quick and think about where psychology may play its hand in our daily lives. The truth of the matter is that psychology can be a very crucial component in deciding how interpersonal situations play out. That being said, let's talk about social psychology for a bit. Social psychology is all about people, and how they act with, well, people. Social psychologists strive to study social interactions and find out what's what, so to speak. Along with the interactions that take place, there are a few different phenomena that also fall into the social psychology category. One phenomenon is called cognitive dissonance. Basically, this is when a person changes their thoughts on something to better match a situation. An example would be, let's say you go to the movies, and the movie that you see ends up being so bad that you storm out afterwards throwing your popcorn everywhere. Later on, a friend asks you, hey, how was that movie, by the way? Well, okay, you paid the ridiculous ticket price, you were completely disappointed, but you shrug it off and say, nah, it wasn't bad. Now wait a minute, that movie was horrible. Why would you say that it wasn't? In your mind, you actually just changed your belief a bit to justify spending the money that you spent to see that movie, therefore altering your thoughts about it to better match the situation of you paying to see the movie. The other phenomenon that I'm going to talk about today is known as the bystander effect. Now to put it simply, the bystander effect is when a person needs help and other people can help, but choose not to. In most cases, help is not received because the situation is seen as perverse or uncomfortable by normal standards. We see examples of situations like these in an educational setting, meaning bullying. Oftentimes we hear about or see an instance where a person was being bullied, but no one stepped in to stop it. Doing so would draw attention to the person intervening, possibly leading to some discomfort, even though the person who would be helping would be in the right by lending a hand. Next, we're going to cover self-esteem. Now, I'm sure you've heard of the problems associated with having a low self-esteem, but did you know that having too high of a self-esteem can also be problematic? See, with low self-esteem, there can be many issues involved, including stress, and depending on the situation, even depression. Having too high of a self-esteem can actually lead a person to think that they can basically do no wrong. That person can even get aggressive if their ego is called into question. So, as with all things, balance is key, because having a healthy measure of our self-esteem will allow us to be confident and ready to face whatever the day may bring. Now the last topic that I'm going to cover will be psychological disorders. According to the World Health Organization, 1 in every 4 people has a psychological disorder, which means that chances are you know at least one person that may have one. There are many different types of psychological disorders, ranging from depression, mania, schizophrenia, even bipolar disorders. Unfortunately, there is a lot of ignorance when it comes to these disorders, and the lack of knowledge concerning them can actually keep people who have them from coming forth and possibly getting the help that they need. It's important to realize that these disorders are very real and can affect not only the people who have them, but the people that they come into contact with as well. So, as a recap, psychology plays a pretty big role in communication and how people deal with one another. Since everyone is a little different, there is no way to predict exactly how interpersonal interactions will actually turn out. This actually concludes my presentation. I hope you found it informative and enjoyable. Thank you.